Our destination?
Clean space, clear mind.
Sorry. I'm so sorry that threw me off.
I wanted to try a question mark there.
Clear mind?
I'm so sorry.
That was cute though. I liked it. Were you just thrown?
I was just so thrown.
Okay. We're normal.
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2. Let's go. Clear mind.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. It's hump day.
Welcome to Girls Trip. I don't know. Is it Wednesday? I don't even know what day it is right now.
We're having a week.
we have the giggles. We
have bloopers. Let's just say that.
This whole episode might be one long blooper. We're not really sure. But we're going to do our best because you know what? I'm wearing the blazer today. Okay?
I don't know if any of our minds are clear. That's a problem.
It's actually a little bit
experiment
more
failed.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. But we are doing a little bit of a mental check-in today because, as you know, if you've been journeying with us, we've spent a couple of weeks now focusing on decluttering our spaces and getting organized, getting ourselves ready for a new season, jumping into the spring. And I feel like this is something that you hear on every podcast, see in every book, on every Instagram quote, you know. I told you we had the giggles today.
I did slip something in her coffee before.
Do you need to wear the blazer right now?
I don't know what's going on.
We could pass it.
I'm just literally looking at your face and laughing.
I mean, people have
I'm not even offended by that.
I'm shocked that this is like the first time this has happened for us, but okay,
that's true.
I think I'm good.
That's true. It should have happened more times
Long
than
time
this.
ago.
It's
Okay,
true.
Carry on.
We're good. What was I saying? Oh, yes. That decluttering your space will declutter your mind.
Do you think it's true?
And I don't know if that's true, but we're gonna talk through that.
We're gonna find
a
out
little bit.
She's dying. She's
dying.
Look at her on the screen. She's actually melting into the couch. She's melting into the couch.
I think we're just gonna not show me until I can really compose myself. Can you hear me?
Is it what's giving you the giggles?
mess
Just
up.
our faces?
Oh, the mess up still? The clear mind?
Guys, I'm like perspired. Okay. I think I just had to get it out.
You
I
had
think
to get
we're
it
good.
out.
You
You're
had to
fine.
get it out.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you so much.
So how did you feel
Okay.
when you first started decluttering? Were you like overwhelmed? Were you like, this is liberating? Like, where were you? Where was your brain?
So I always feel like I am excited to like declutter. To go.
Yeah.
My problem area is I get started and then I'm like, oh my God. Like then I feel the overwhelming feeling because I see all of the stuff and I can't envision the end product yet. So I feel like I do have very a positive outlook for that. I just have to commit to like going from all the way to the start to the end. So otherwise I get very much overwhelmed. So I think I enjoyed especially the closet decluttering that we were doing. So more so than like the refrigerator or just around the house. Cause to me, it's like a necessity, but it's not like, I don't know. There's nothing exciting. I'm not like, I'm going to go buy new cucumbers now. Right. Yay. If you do something a little bit more that's towards, I guess, your body, your personality, that feels fun. Cause you're like, ooh, okay, I'm purging. Maybe I can invest in some other things. So overall, I feel like I do have a pretty good outlook. I like it.
I like it.
I
I kind of feel the same. I think it's something where I'm like ready to tackle this challenge. And I do have usually like a clear vision of the end product. So that keeps me motivated. But especially in this like very condensed timeline that we did everything in, it was like every night I am exhausted.
So tired.
That's true.
So it's not like, even though I'm being motivated, I'm not feeling like refreshed by this. I'm feeling like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, if I have to keep going at this pace, like I don't know how long I can sustain this.
The difference between you and I think, is that for you have to get up super early to do school. And so my refreshing comes in the morning when I wake up, and because I've tried to carry it over from the clearing out the space and purging and all that. I've tried to combine that with like tidying up a lot the night before and making sure that like, you know, the sink is clear. Not like obsessive about it, but like the sink is clear. The pillows are kind of just like on the couch, like that there's not just stuff everywhere. Like stuff is kind of in its place. And in the morning when I go downstairs to like do my stuff, I'm like, oh, this is like all done already. So that's where my like mental clarity comes from. It's in the mornings, which is, you can't really feel that right now because your mornings are so chaotic right now. So
well, that kind of brings us into the next phase, right? So that was where our heads were when we started the process. And I feel like that whole idea of clear your space, clear your mind has a lot of like promises attached to it, right? That maybe you are gonna wake up and feel like, oh, I have like a minute to breathe here, or that you're gonna you know, be in a better mood, or that it's gonna free up time somewhere else, or something like that, or you're just gonna feel less stressed because you don't have stuff all around you. So do you feel like there have been any lasting effects, any positive benefits? So you're saying you are feeling a little bit of like a breath in the morning.
Only in the sense that I walk down and there's not clutter everywhere because it's taken care of. But it's made me realize more that I can no longer use the excuse, well, oh, if this was just all taken care of, I would feel amazing today. My daily stresses still happen.
Yeah.
Once I come down in the morning and I do like whatever it is I want to do for the first half hour or an hour, then it's like life is still there.
Yeah.
Everything that has to get done for work, for personal stuff, for house, for church, for family, friends, all that stuff exists still, regardless if the dishes are done or not.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing more and more that my anxiety levels cannot depend on if my space is organized or clear. It really has a small percentage of that. Whereas I thought before going into it, definitely had more of a mindset of, if I was just this OCD person that just wanted everything clean all the time, my life would just be flourishing. I'd be thriving in every area. And that's not real. Okay. So it's like just another, to me, if I'm just being brutally honest, just like a goal that it has helped, but it hasn't fixed everything.
Yeah.
It hasn't like turned the knob complete 180. Like now I'm just a stress-free person. That's not real. Like it's something deeper is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I do not receive a high from cleaning in any shape or form. But I will say that I do feel like it does feel good to accomplish that. But like the next day, I don't know. I think that I'm not receiving that excitement or like dopamine hit of like clean house. Yes. Where I get it from other areas. Maybe I could eventually get to that point if I, were more consistent with it in certain areas. I think because I have such a high threshold or tolerance, I should say, of clutter. I can function in clutter. My type of clutter, like if I walked in someone else's house and it was cluttered, I am like, oh my God.
Yeah, you want it
my
your way.
house,
Yeah,
like,
sure. It's a good point.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's very different. So I think that when things are cleaned, I appreciate it, but doesn't really make a difference. Now, if someone was coming over to my house and I needed to clean, then I am like way better at being like, this feels good. I'm ready to go. But it's very different day to day than if I was like hosting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's,
Do you think that there's any, could it be a degree of separation where you're seeing a benefit because your husband is so opposite of you, where he does get that high almost from like cleaning and having things in their place and tidy? That do you feel like since you went through this whole clean out that positively affected like his mood and mental space, and that by having a like calmer, happier husband that you like benefited from that at all?
So
like a degree
I
of
would
separation?
agree. Yes, that definitely makes a difference. And I do notice that like mentally, I do feel better like coming home because I know that like he's not going to maybe get as easily frustrated because he like, he has his own clutter on like the kitchen table because we don't have an office. But I'm like, I know that he really tries to tidy that up as best as he can. So I do find that when he is happier, that he can breathe and he can have like go to the living room and there's not like a pile of laundry on the couch, or just random little things like, oh, there's some socks that I forgot to grab. Like that makes him much happier, and I do realize that makes me calmer or just better. So I'm doing it for us together as a whole. It's not really I guess it shouldn't necessarily be just a selfish thing to do, but I don't receive that the same way for myself. It's for others.
You're kind of maybe getting the benefit indirectly in that way. I don't think I necessarily feel I don't know. Part of me wants to say I don't feel less stressed. But I think that maybe when there is mess, I feel more stressed. Like for sure, if like my bedroom floor is clean, it doesn't have piles of laundry on it or toys or whatever. When I'm like going to bed and getting up in the morning and I'm like, oh, this is just a clear path. I do feel like, oh, this feels so nice.
Well, okay. I think it's important for us to figure out what our baseline of stress is. Yeah. Because if your baseline is already super high, then the extra stress of all of the clutter is just going to make you feel like your blood pressure is hitting the ceiling. Versus when it's not there, you're thinking in your head, well, I'm not feeling like this. I'm not feeling my blood boiling right now. Why don't I feel super clear? Like, why don't I feel super calm? Because your baseline is already super high still. So that's what I'm trying to, not to cut you off there, but I feel like we're similar in that regard where our baselines are still too high. So even with the clearing of the mess, we're still not going to get that huge dopamine relief of I just feel so good right now. Like it hasn't hit yet.
It doesn't necessarily this is kind of weird to say, but it doesn't take away stress, but it has the potential to add stress.
Yes. No, you said it right. You totally said it. Totally said it right.
Okay. Where like I'm not knowing that like my living room, let's say, is clean. Doesn't, make me go to bed less stressed. But when I wake up in the morning and walk downstairs, there's like, if it's clean, it's kind of just like, where if it's a mess, I'm like, and so there is a little bit of that difference. I want to say the biggest benefit that I've experienced in going through this process of tackling all these different projects and being super intentional about decluttering is that it has increased my awareness of things. That's good. So that, maybe if I would just like pass something by because I'm so like focused on completing this task and I'm going to ignore when I'm passing, I'm like, let me just pick this up and put it in the garbage on my way. And so just constantly being more aware of the little tiny things rather than saying like, why bother picking that up and throwing it out right now? Because that's not going to tackle the mess in my whole house of just being like the micro actions that I can do. And also something that I did focus on in the organization and decluttering was trying to have a place for more things. We talked about that of like, it's harder to keep up and put things away if you don't have a spot.
You don't know where it goes
for it to go.
Right.
So there are certain things that, let's say, I get a really sweet card from a friend where in the past I'm like, where does this go? I don't want to throw it out. It's something I want to go back to. Right. But then it becomes a part of this junk drawer that then has to be cleaned out in 6 months. Right. So now I have like a designated, little box that these are the cards that I'm not ready to part with that I want there. But then I will put it there because I know, like, I'm not like, oh, where do I want to put this right now? It's like, oh, I just need to drop that in there and it's done. And so definitely trying to, I've been talking about how I'm already buying stuff for my kids for like summer. Whether that's for like, pool stuff or when we go on vacation and whatnot. And so when I'm coming home with those bags, not just like dumping those bags in my office, but now I have like a bin of like, okay, that stuff goes in there. And so it's already away. So I feel like in that regard, I've seen a benefit maybe that there's like, I'm having greater awareness and finding a place for things. I would say the frustrating part is I haven't, and listen, it's been what, like a couple of weeks that we've been on this. So we can't say that we've have or haven't seen like the long-term effects of like, of the mindset of decluttering yet. Because certainly I feel like, oh, all of this stuff that you can't see when you walk through my house is so organized and decluttered. But all of the spaces that I've had to ignore in order to focus on those are a disaster. You know, my kids still have their toys everywhere and there's stuff all over the kitchen counters, and you know, that just, life keeps happening while you're trying to declutter this one closet.
Right.
So I haven't like come full circle yet to find out like, okay, have I been able to tip the scales? Have I gotten rid of enough stuff where it feels more manageable for that mess to not happen? I don't know. I don't know if I've gotten there.
I don't know about you. I come from a completely different place right now because again, I was living in a basement with my stuff everywhere with no real walking path a month ago. So now it just feels so different. It feels so different. So like not everyone can compare that drastically, but for me, when I go back to even like back in our smaller apartment when stuff was just cluttered everywhere and there was just so much stuff and not enough space, it's hard for me to see the effects like day to day right now. But when I think about like a year ago versus now, I'm like, no, I'm actually in a better place right now. I may feel in the moment like just as stressed as I was yesterday or the day before, but when you see the growth year to year or every couple of years, I see that. I see, and it does help me to keep going forward and not get depressed about it.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. You're going to keep feeling the benefits the longer that you be consistent.
There's a lot of external forces also. So like even comparing your two situations, it's like you might be better now, but you still, like you're saying, might feel stressed, but because there's other stuff. There's work, there's, other things happening.
Work is ramped up. So we're in a busy time of the year.
Exactly.
Like there's so many things.
Like you might be like, oh, I really did accomplish something and I have started to put things in place, but you're not going to get to that moment until maybe other things in your life also calm down and then you can appreciate everything. So I think, to your point, Lauren, we have to stick with it long enough, I think, to really see that benefit. Because right now we're still up and down everywhere in our lives.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, do you think in the short term, have you noticed anything different in the way you're thinking about things? Because I definitely have.
I have, for sure. I am way more likely to, if I see like Thomas's shirt that he just took off from work, like just on the bed or on the floor, I'm like, there's no chance I'm not picking that up and putting it where it needs to go. Like, whereas before I'm just like, who cares? But with this like strong intentional effort to organize the spaces, it's made me, plus I'm super proud of our place that we finally have now. So that's a huge part of it too. But I'm way more conscious of, do not let that get out of hand. Get it now before it gets crazy, for sure.
I'm finding it in my like shopping habits.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. I am the same way. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel that.
And I think I've had to find like the middle ground, right? Like when I was talking about the minimalist, I was like, that's never going to be me. I'll never be able to be that extreme. So I'm still going to buy new bathing suits for my kids. I'm still going to buy new stuff for them to play with on the plane or whatever. But certainly, it's like, okay, I bought them their new bathing suits for the summer. And then a week later I'm in Marshall's and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And I'm like, I don't need another bathing suit because I'm seeing the full journey of this. It's like, this is another bathing suit that's eventually she's going to grow out of that I'm going to have to pack away and give to somebody, So I do feel much more aware of like, I'm still going to do the fun stuff. I'm still going to buy things that I don't need because that brings me joy and I like doing that. But maybe I can like rein myself in a little bit and be like, do I really need to get this? Should I really buy this just because thing that I don't know if or when I'll be able to use? So definitely made me pause and question. And also think more about the like, what do I want to invest my money in, versus like do I really want to spend $5 here and $15 there and, you know, $18 here? That seems so trivial, but then that could add up to like, oh, I really want this, that it costs $200. So what am I choosing here?
I forget the line that I think you mentioned it, Joy, but it was something like, you're going to put it away now, or
don't put it down.
Don't put it down, put it away.
Yeah.
Yes. And that I have said to myself a couple times, because when I come home from work, I'm driving for a bit. I literally just want to sit down and like put my feet up, because my brain is just like, you had to be alert for X amount of hours. So even as simple as I took my jacket off, I put my like work bag down. I'm like, instead of just putting it on the kitchen chair, just hang it up, put the bag on the hanger in the closet. Like, two simple things.
It becomes habit after a while.
Then you don't have to do it later in the day or before you go to bed. And it keeps whatever space you have just a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
So I've definitely thought of that. And then I would say, to agree with you, I'm thinking a little bit more about quality of things now, because I've probably been on this journey for a couple of years, because I don't just want to buy clothes that I wash once, it shrinks, or it's weird fabric. I'm looking at fabrics now more than I've ever had. I'm like, is this going to shrink, or is this like a weird like rayon that has to hang? I don't want to deal with that. Like, I want something that is practical, but will last with washes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely more aware of that when I'm thinking of shopping or going out now.
Yeah. I think it as a part of that, like, awareness that's been growing in me, I now have this sort of like constant running mental list, not in like a stressful way, just in a like, now I have these mini goals for myself throughout my house where it's like, okay, I'm not necessarily, you know, setting these like challenges for myself like we had for that week, but because you brought up like putting your coat away when you come home, right? And I'm like, I have a barrier to doing that, because even when I get myself to the coat closet and open it, I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put my coat because it's too full in here. I don't have an easy hook or hanger to just throw this on. And so therefore I close the closet and I throw it somewhere else. And so I'm like, okay, that is next. I have to go through that closet and I need to empty it enough where there's always going to be a hanger or hook available for me to keep up with that. So it's like those little spaces around the house where I'm like, okay, I need to add that to my list of like, that's a space I need to get to and can, you know, keep up with. In the bottom half of that closet is all the bags. What's everyone doing with,
what are we doing with
the
our
bags?
bags? Are you just like throw them out? And I'm like, I am.
They're
you need
in
to keep some.
our new garage. I put them all in. So I find my biggest bag. I find my biggest bag and then put them all in that bag.
Yes.
So
that is the only way to store those.
Yeah, and then I just put that bag on a hook and then
because I'm trying to balance like, okay, I need to keep some in the house because when I have to bring stuff out, so I can't keep them all in my car. But then where do I put them? Like in the closet? It's just a hot mess.
I have so many that's literally bursting at the seams. And it's like, I try to keep it organized and I've gone through it a couple times where I'm like folding all of the bags and putting them, you know, in them, but then it gets out of control and I feel like I am throwing away, which feels so like it just feels wrong. It feels like that's not like
was not the point of why
purpose for when I don't know if we'll make anyone upset with us, but I would just use all of my old ShopRite bags, like the plastic bags. Those are my garbage bags.
I use them as shower caps.
You know when someone says something and you're not.
I kid you not.
You know
that
what?
was my biggest.
When
I hated that.
Rebecca,
you can get them for like 25 cents.
Listen,
why would she, Lauren? She had a ShopRite plastic bag.
Exactly.
Why would she do that?
Also, the shower caps never fit because I would have such a high bun. They wouldn't fit over my head all the way. They'd be like here. So I literally, this is like that you tell your kid, do not put a plastic bag on your head. I was putting my head in there, putting it over. I literally would tie it.
Okay.
Good to go.
Sometimes
I would do my hair and then
people
shower.
say something that just shocks you. This is not one of those
if
times.
you have done that before, please comment.
What was I saying?
That's ridiculous.
Plastic garbage bag.
Garbage. Hair nets.
Shower cap.
Whatever I was just using them for so many things. Now it's strictly like when I'm bringing something in my house to somebody else's house.
Yes.
That's it. And it's just not as versatile.
No.
So
Yeah,
I don't like
it's
it.
just
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
I know it's better for the environment, but it's just not as versatile.
I'm just sorry.
Yeah, so
me
stuff like that, I'm just like, I need to get a handle on this because
shower
it's a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
Okay, so thinking about going forward, right? I think we all agree that in general, it's something that we want to keep up with the best that we can. Like it felt good to purge
Not
things.
a negative experience.
No, it
we
was
weren't
a
crying from
positive experience. I think I have accepted that like I'll never get down to the point where stuff is not causing clutter.
Yeah.
But maybe slightly less than that. But what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge to this whole thing going forward? Is it letting go of things, like you feeling like whether it's an emotional connection or just not wanting to make a decision? Is it deciding where that thing should go? Is it just getting started each time and saying like, I need to carve out time to do this on a more regular basis? Like what's the hardest part of that?
The hardest part that hasn't changed and will never change is that my husband just doesn't have the same like desire. He doesn't see it the way I see it. So it's so easy for me to just be like, well, he doesn't care.
Right.
Why do I care? So that's probably the biggest thing I have to get over, is that he's never going to
Don't say never. Never say
Never
never.
say never.
Never say never.
not this week.
Not this week. But if my husband could develop a care for it, literally anyone could.
Yeah. So I got to hold on to that. On to that. But until that happens, I think if I just keep up with it and don't let the apathy towards the, the space, when he likes to clean, he cleans.
Yeah.
But like the daily stuff, it's like I can't let his perspective make mine less than. Like I have to keep up my energy, even though his does not match it.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just carving out time more regularly so that every time it doesn't have to become this like all-consuming project where I can't also keep up with regular cleaning and chores. So that it just becomes more a part of my habits and routine. That's the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I feel like I enjoy the purge. I enjoy doing all of that. I think what maybe it is a little bit of this that in my brain, this is not a permanent spot, even though we've been there for almost 5 years. It's still kind of like, this isn't really home. So as much as I made it home, there's a lot of stuff still, mostly in our basement, that I'm like, I'm keeping it because it's kind of sentimental. I might want to use it in the new house. Like there's a lot of stuff, I think, that way that it's just down there. Whereas upstairs, like cleaning, I feel like, just with what you're saying, I think I just need to carve out time more specifically, but I don't have a problem with cleaning it. But there's an element or a little bit in space in my brain where I'm like holding out on some stuff and getting rid of because I don't know if I will want it in the new house. And they're not like small little things. They're like larger things that are more sentimental than they are maybe practical. So I feel like it's just a challenging process to kind of finagle what to get rid of and what to keep, because something can be practical. We can, again, buy it at the new house versus keeping it and introducing it to a new house.
A new house.
You don't feel fully settled.
I
so
think
you don't know.
That's it. There's an
we all know
element
how
of
that feels.
Yeah. Joy's been on that roller coaster before.
Oh boy. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been, I don't even have words. Hopefully you've had a laugh or two with us today and have learned or taken something away from what we've discussed. And please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, don't forget to enjoy the view wherever your ride takes you.